So I made soap. Okay, I'm gonna tell you about my experiences making soap. This video is in English so that I can share this to everybody. But don't worry, there'll be translations below there. So first things first, how I got into making soap. Well, I thought about making soap because I thought that, you know, there are things that I cannot use, like some soaps give me scratches, give me itches. It itches a lot, I mean to say. So I don't know what's going on with normal commercial soaps, but yeah, I decided to make soaps for personal use at first. And then after that, I didn't know that, well, after using my own handmade soaps, there'll be some things that I have to share. So let's. People say that handmade soaps are better than commercial soaps because you know your ingredients. You know what's being put into that soap, and you generally feel much more grateful because you understand the soap making process. You feel like, oh, it's nice to use your own soap. Okay, so right now I give you a brief imagery on how the soap making process is made by hand. Generally, as far as I know, there are two soap making processes by hand. The first is called cold press soap making, and the second is called hot press soap making. So what I did was hot press, and for this you generally need to heat up the oils to make it hot, okay? And also the lye. Yeah, you use a sort of chemical called lye. Lye is basically concentrated salt, but it's kind of very dry. It's kind of dry, and it's a sort of chemical that's used to combine oils together. Okay, so when you mix in lye and the hot oils together, it becomes a creamy substance, okay? Then that creamy substance, when you let it to cool, it becomes soap. But then during that time when it's cooled and when you put it in the mold or you let it to cool, you cannot use it because it has a really high pH value, and that high pH value causes your skin to become irritable and can cause you some skin issues like rashes, sensitivity, and so on and so forth if you're not careful with the lye. Lye is very, very hot and very, very dry. So you are supposed to cure the soap. Curing the soap means you basically kind of like put it somewhere, let it to cool down completely, and let it to harden. Okay, that's the hot process of making the soap. Hot press process of making the soap. And then you should be waiting for it to cure for a really long time before you can use it, because when it's curing, it's actually trying to balance out the pH value. But because I did not wait, okay, so I used it after I cured it for like 2-3 weeks. And the effect the effect is literally the same with the commercial soap bars that I normally use. So yeah, I tell you, perhaps the commercial soap bars that they use, they don't really cure it for a really long time and then they just sell it. So because the same effect it had on me when I made the handmade soap, when I used the handmade soap, my skin was dry and very itchy. Yeah, that's it. So some people say that you have to cure it for a really long time, like 6 months. But others say that if you cure it for 1 year or 2 years, it's actually better. So, is handmade soap worth to make your own and use it? Well, I tell you the truth, making your own handmade soaps, if you're gonna use it on your own, I suggest that you make it something very interesting for you, something that cannot be bought outside. For instance, perhaps you like a soap bar that's in the aromatherapic category, but you don't have that kind, but you cannot find that kind of aromatherapy essential oil soap bar. So you can make your own using the handmade soap bars, but you have to wait for like 6 months at least before you use it. So is it worth the wait? If it's not urgent, yeah, it's worth to use the handmade soap bars. Is it worth to sell? I don't think so, because a lot of people have been using handmade soap bars and well, a lot of companies are making handmade soap bars as well. Each have their own formula. So yeah, is it worth it to buy handmade soap bars? If you like it, sure. Is it worth it to give as a gift? Definitely, it's something unique. These are the experiments that I've been doing. And is it worth my time to do this? Definitely. And I would like to take this opportunity to also thank the person who supported me in doing this. This video is for you. Yeah. You guys, you know, not this video is made especially for the person supporting me, but it's also made to give info to other people. And yeah, thank you friends for watching. This is my experiment and what I've been doing all this time. Yeah, I only did one thing. I'm not ashamed. I only did soap. Okay. I'm just gonna wait to cure this for like next year. Then I use it again. And then I give you another review. Okay, I'll tell you what happens after this, after 1 year. Okay. Bye. For this video.